The psalmist said this in Psalms 139, and the psalmist is crying out to God. He says, "For you created my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb." I mean, he's saying, like, you took your time making me. Verse 14, he says, "I praise you because I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made." I mean, there's a guy that doesn't have a problem with self-confidence, right? Like, when God made me, he did a good job. I'm just saying, right? Like, that's good, because you can't love your neighbor like you love yourself if you don't love yourself. You got to know your potential. He says, "You made me fearfully and wonderfully. You made me. Your works are wonderful, God." You made me and I'm wonderful. He says, I know that full well. He's like, "I'm convinced that I'm no accident. Like, the way you created me is you designed me, God. The world may not look at my shape or my size or my color or my disposition in a way that is favorable, but God says the way that I see you is the way that I made you. And I fearfully and I wonderfully made you. I thought about you before I made you." He goes on to say this. He says, "My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth," talking about the womb. He says, "My frame," what is a frame? A frame kind of shows capacity, right? You know, like if you go to a house, and I do some of that, and you go to a house. I was in this one house not long ago, and the upstairs, it was nice, but it was small. And I went downstairs, and there was a basement, and it was unfinished, but it was framed. And so as an investor, I'm looking at it, what do I say? This house has potential because I see the frame. There's room to expand. It's a 2-bedroom, but it could be a 4-bedroom. There's potential. Maybe nobody else sees it, but as an investor, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the unseen potential. And God looks at you and he says, like, look, when I made you, I saw my frame was not hidden from God. He knows my capacity. He determines my capacity, not the world, not people. And sometimes people will look at you and say, well, this is your capacity. You didn't frame me, baby. You didn't know me in my mother's womb. You didn't see the outline of my life. You didn't see my capacity. Now in the physical, I've exceeded some of my framework, but that's another story, right? But God says, I know your capacity. Nobody defines you but your Creator.